WrestleMania was ridiculous. It had to be the worst WrestleMania ever. And it just shows you the true colors of The Rock. And for The Rock, anybody who retires from wrestling before they're like 33 and hangs up their boots, these people, he said, we expect to get some more years out of Rock. We knew he was going to go to Hollywood. All right, so this is TKO. This is a billion-dollar company, a multi-billion-dollar company whose stock has risen 100% the last, year, 18 months, and they can't tell a basic story. I mean, what's the point of bringing The Rock into Elimination Chamber with Travis Scott acting all weird in the ring, like his pants are on fire, and he's like patting himself down and, smoking pot in the ring or whatever he's doing? What's the point of all that if the story's not going to mesh together? Cena tried to explain it a little bit the other night, but it made no sense on SmackDown. So what's the point? How could you have a multi-billion-dollar company and not be able to tell stories? People say they paid, big bucks for the tickets for WrestleMania because they expected The Rock to be there, and then he doesn't show up because he's lazy. The Rock, all he cares about is looking, muscular. But other than that, he's lazy. He got lucky when he was younger. He made a couple of, catchphrases, and he had a couple of mannerisms. But now his movies, he basically plays himself in his movies, and people eat up bland things now. People eat up cookie cutter things that they think are normal now. So his movies did well for a while, but how could he no-show WrestleMania? And let's just look at some of the headlines. All right, from the Daily Mail. WWE icon The Rock mysteriously absent at WrestleMania 41 as fans are left seething. Cage-side seats. No Rock at WrestleMania 41. Yahoo Sports. WWE WrestleMania 41 Night 2 results. Grades analysis. John Cena beats Cody Rhodes in lackluster match or whatever. Bleacher Report. Blame The Rock for John Cena's train wreck WWE WrestleMania 41 win versus Cody Rhodes. We did it. Who cares about Travis Scott? He's not a big guy. He doesn't have good music. Nobody has good music anymore because all music sounds the same. If you want to listen to good music, you go to my video game soundtracks, or you listen to my Soul Energy of the Sun original songs, or you listen to music from like 30 years ago. Travis Scott, he's a mediocre musician. He has no presence. Why is he out there at WrestleMania? The Rock should have been out there. Sport Bible. WWE fans have theory after slamming The Rock for ruining WrestleMania. Again, it's basic storytelling. If you're gonna have The Rock come to Elimination Chamber and then never show up again until still, what's the point of all this? It's just, we have a problem in our country of not staffing our jobs with the right people. And in the WWE, the creative has gotten so bad, it's fallen off such a cliff just in the past 2 years. Remember WrestleMania 39? Night 1 was really good, and then Night 2 they had Snoop Dogg, and they had Vince McMahon went into the ring, and they had Austin versus KO. Remember WrestleMania 40 last year? They had The Rock in the tag match the first night, and then the second night they had those big matches. How could WWE have fallen off such a cliff in such a short time? I really think it's the fans, the WWE fans, let the company get away with anything because the fans want to pay, very inflationary prices for tickets, and the WWE fans want to go to the shows and they want to sing and they want to clap and they want to, buy Coca-Cola and maybe a beer or two. They don't really care about the product. And I'm not saying that things have to be like the Attitude Era when there was too much storyline and not enough wrestling. But now, Night 1 of WrestleMania, 40 minutes of entrances. Night 2, 48 minutes of entrances. So if you have an 8-hour program, that's over, 16, 17, 18% of the show basically on entrances. And, I can see giving a big entrance to a big name, like The Undertaker, or like Cena, maybe Cody, or, a star from the past, like Triple H. But to give these long entrances to Joe Schmo and Finn Balor without the demon costume and just watching them walk and walk and walk down the aisle like they're never going to get to the ring, like it's like a conveyor belt and they're just walking, but they don't get any closer to the ring. So the WWE, as a multi-billion-dollar company now, telling these loose end frayed edge stories, it's unacceptable. And the media is biting them for this. And, you know, you might want to short TKO stock. I mean, that's not advice. I'm not saying that I'm doing it. But I can't see how they can retain their momentum. This should actually bother fans. So I'm hoping that that they get their act together. Maybe they need Vince McMahon back, because Vince McMahon actually cared about the product. He wanted to tie the loose ends together. He wanted it to make sense. He wanted it to be more complex. Right now, it's like G-rated Powerpuff Girls has probably better storylines than WWE now. It's all the entrances and the singing, but that's gonna get worn out, especially when you slap your fans in the face and you just insult their intelligence. It would, like Vince Russo said, it would be like if you watched Star Wars Episode 4 with Darth Vader, and then you waited 3 years for Star Wars Episode 5 to come out, the Empire Strikes Back, and then Darth Vader is not even in the movie. I mean, that's exactly what it is. Rock was like the Darth Vader. You saw how he came out at Elimination Chamber with all the smoke. It was almost like an Undertaker entrance. And at WrestleMania 41, if The Rock wasn't going to be there, then don't bring out Travis Scott. That's like substituting Dr. Evil, Mini-Me. It's like Mini-Me coming out instead of Dr. Evil. Or it's like, it's just a very cheap imitation. It's not, people, The Rock is a wrestler. The Rock is a big jacked up wrestler that the fans are familiar with, who has always been, entertaining, even if he's been a little bit lazy and he retired too early. But don't insult us by bringing out Travis Scott. If you're not going to have The Rock, then don't have anybody. And don't have him so involved in the finish of the main event. And everything looked so slow, and it was a terrible WrestleMania.